This is the answer key for Tuesday, October 10th. The first computation question asks, which of the following differences is in the shaded range of this number line? Here, I skip counted by hundreds to fill in my shaded range. So I'm looking for answers for A, B, C, and D that are between 1,000 and 1,100. So in order to find my answers, I must solve for A, B, C, and D. And I notice there's not a lot of room to solve on my homework paper, so I probably should use a scrap sheet of paper to show all of my work. First, I'm going to solve A. 1,200 minus 900. Pause here to solve on your own and see if we get the same answer. I'm going to begin by subtracting from my ones place. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. 2 minus 9, I can't do that without getting a negative number, so I borrow from my thousands place. My 2 becomes a 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. 300 is my answer for A. That is not in between 1,000 and 1,100, so A is not an answer choice, so I can eliminate that. B. 8,910 minus 7,880. Start my ones place. 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 8. I cannot do that without getting a negative number. Borrow from my hundreds place. The 9 becomes an 8. The 1 becomes an 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. 8 minus 8 is 0. 8 minus 7 is 1. My final answer is 1,030. That number is within the shaded range of my number line, so B is a possible answer. C. 5,460 minus 4,260. Start my ones. 0 minus 0, 6 minus 6, 4 minus 2 is 2, 5 minus 4 is 1, 1,200. That is not in the shaded range of my number line. That number would go over here by 1,200. Finally, D. 2,000 minus 1,091. I notice I have lots of zeros up top, so I'm going to have to do some borrowing. So I start all the way in my thousands place, and that 2 becomes a 1. And now I have to hop over and borrow from the rest of my place values. So this becomes a 10, to borrow again to become a 9. So this becomes a 10 in the tens place. Borrow again becomes a 9. And the last 0 becomes a 10. Now I can subtract. 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 0 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. So my final answer is 909. So there's only one possible answer choice for question number 1. Please make sure you show your work on every single problem. Computation question number 2. What is the product of 29 times 8? Show your work. You can either show this traditional method or area model. Here's what that looks like. Notice how I'm showing all of my work on scrap paper. I have area model to the right and traditional to the left. Notice I expanded my numbers. When I multiply 20 times 8, I get 16 times 10 is 160. 9 times 8 is 72. I take those and add them together. To get 232. If I show traditional method, 9 times 8 is 72. I carry my tens place. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 plus 7, 23. final product, 232. Check your work. Did you do area model or traditional? The next set of questions are graphing questions, and they have a line graph. This is candy sold by a third grade class, and if I notice, the x-axis shows me the amount of time in weeks. The y-axis shows me the number of candy bars sold, and I can kind of see all of their candy bar, the graph consistently went up. And I can match some of the numbers over here on the graph. Some of them don't match up equally, and so I'm going to have to just use my best estimate for those missing numbers that aren't on a line. This one for week 2 is between 10 and 15. So I can infer that that's probably a little bit above 10. So I can say that one's representative of 11 or 12 candy bars sold. But let's take a look at the questions. We're trying to answer if these statements are true or false. So it says from week 1 to week 3, the number of candy bars sold doubled. So I'm going to go back and look at week 1. Week 1 sold 10 candy bars. So I'm going to have 10 candy bars here for week 1. And this is just where I'm showing all my work. Week 3. Week 3 is exactly on 20. So, 20 candy bars. The word double means multiplying it by 2. So if I multiply 10 by 2, I get 20. So, from week 1 to week 3, the number of candy bars sold doubled. That statement is true. B, third grade sold 10 more candy bars in week 5 than in week 4. So, I'm going to look at my data for week 4. It's right under 30 candy bars. So I'm going to say that's like 29 candy bars. And week 4 was 29. Week 5 was right above 30. So I'm going to say that's like 32. And if I look at those two numbers, I got to think, is there 5 in between that? Or excuse me, not 5, 10. Is there 10 in between that? And no, there's not, because 10 more than 29 would be 39. And this says 32. So that statement for B, false. C, each week candy bar sales increased. Increase means going up. That means from week to week, all of my numbers increased. And that's true. Last question, D. By week 6, the class sold 50 candy bars. Well, we have to think. Each week, they sold a certain amount. If we add up every single week, are we going to get more than 50? Show your work to find out if that is true or false. Questions on geography. Here, I'm just going to give you little hints to help you figure it out, and hopefully you can tell by the hints what the answer is. Number 1 says, if you were in the city of Fredericksburg, you might see this major river. Well, there's a little clue. Fred likes to rap. Number 2, the Potomac River is a natural border between Virginia and which state? Well, the Potomac River is furthest north, and the state that is above Virginia starts with an M. Number 3, if you travel down the James River, you will pass the capital of Virginia. Remember, James is rich. And number 4, which region is considered the source of Virginia's major rivers? Source means where it starts. A river cannot start in The Chesapeake Bay. It starts on a mountain and travels down. So which region contains old, rounded mountains? All right, friends. Hope that helped. Good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.